It's been a long time since we talked about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Erika Girardi and her husband, her estranged husband, Tom Girardi. Well, today he was found guilty. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. I don't know if you guys have known this, but Tom Girardi has been on trial for the last couple of weeks, and now we have breaking news that he has been found guilty. First of all, a few months ago, they said that he was competent enough to stand trial, despite people and his team saying that he is dealing with dementia. He doesn't know what is what at this particular point. But according to a court, they said no, he was competent enough. And I don't know if you've seen it. Shout out to our friends over at the Talk of Shame. She's been in court. They weren't not able to videotape anything inside of court, but she's been reporting since then, following this case, being in the actual courtroom as this has played out.
Tom Girardi was just found guilty, all 4 counts of wire fraud. Guilty, 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 guilty. The jury was unanimous. His sentencing date has been scheduled for December 6, 2024 at 1:30 p.m. Now, for each count of wire fraud, he faces a maximum of 20 years in federal prison, but the defense has 6 weeks to file their sentencing brief. Then the government is going to have a month to reply to that, and then 2 weeks after that, there will be a response. I'm sure there will be appeals, but Tom Girardi is guilty. I'm going to get him coming out of the courtroom. This time, he's coming out a convicted felon. All the media is waiting outside, waiting for Tom to come out. Everybody wants to see Tom Girardi, the now convicted Tom Girardi, found guilty on all 4 counts. Let's see him come out. He hasn't come out yet, but as soon as he does, I'm going to get the first shot of him.
And we've seen video footage of Tom playing that act up of coming out of the courtroom and answering questions, as much questions as he could.
Tom, are you happy you testified? Tom, do you think the jury believes you?
Let you know.
Are you happy you got your side out today?
And looking a damn fashion disaster. I don't know. Look, I get it. He has dementia, but the people taking care of him don't. Why does he look like this? But all right. I guess he has to give poor. Anyways, so Los Angeles Times is one of the people writing this. They said a federal court jury in Los Angeles on Tuesday found Tom Girardi, once a legal titan and now a disgraced former attorney, guilty of wire fraud for embezzling more than $15 million from clients. And I know what you're thinking. I thought it was more than that. This is just the beginning. This is just a portion of allegations against him. So the guilty verdict concludes a weeks-long trial in which prosecutors elicited emotional testimony from former clients, including a burn victim and a widow whose husband died in a boating accident, employees of the now-closed law firm Girardi Keys, and an outside attorney who struggled to get a woman the settlement money she had been granted. Sidebar, we've been following this case a long time. You remember we were part of the coverage of the auction of all the things at Girardi Keys, and we went through all the things that they were putting on auction. So Girardi, who's 85 years old and been doing this for decades and getting away with it, California bar, we're still looking at you because you received multiple complaints. Dare I say hundreds of complaints, and you did nothing. They said Girardi had been on trial for 4 counts of wire fraud. He was found guilty on all 4. As clients went unpaid, prosecutors told the jury Girardi spent money on private jets, country clubs, and the entertainment career of his now estranged wife, Erika Girardi, a star of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. No, Erika was not on trial, and Erika was not in court. Throughout the trial, the Girardis federal public defenders had laid the blame on the firm's longtime chief financial officer, Chris Kamen, accusing him of stealing more than $50 million from Girardi Keys. I mean, two things can be true. He could have been stealing money and Girardi could have been stealing money. I mean, birds of a feather flock together. And at one point, Chris's, the CFO's girlfriend, a one-time girlfriend, talked about the lavish lifestyle that he gave to her. And basically, I think she wanted to start a business, but he said any of the money that he gave her, she had to put into this business that he had set up. So it seemed as if the CFO had learned from, or you may have learned, Tom, from him, because something similar happened with Erika. She had this LLC that $25 million was deposited into. She denies being aware of that even happening, or this LLC, she claims. So over the course of his decades-long career, Girardi cultivated close ties with mayors, governors, senators, judges, and Supreme Court justices, and people at the California bar. I'll add that. A once legendary plaintiff's attorney, he was revered and feared by fellow attorneys for the 9-figure settlements he brokered and the powerful officials he counted as friends. His law firm imploded, as you know, in late 2020 amid evidence that he stole settlements from widows and orphans in an Indonesian plane crash, and hundreds of former clients and vendors came forward saying that they were collectively cheated out of hundreds of millions of dollars. He was disbarred just in July of 2022. During the trial, former clients of the firm told the jury they had been impressed by Girardi's record of successes, including securing a $333 million settlement against Pacific Gas and Electric, featured in the movie Erin Brockovich. He made promises that everything would be fine and told them not to worry, they said. I trusted him too much, testified Joseph Rui Gomez, who suffered a catastrophic burn injuries as a teenager in a 2010 San Bruno pipeline explosion, which killed his girlfriend. And you saw him, he was also in that Hulu documentary as well. So after Girardi negotiated a $53 million settlement for the family, Rui Gomez and his mother detailed late payments and excuses piling up. An IRS agent later testified that the sum of Rui Gomez's settlement funds went to compensate other Girardi clients whose settlements he had previously misappropriated. In voicemails and letters presented in court, Girardi repeated the same refrain to frustrated clients asking for the money they were owed. Don't be mad at me. He picked these people in the darkest hour of their life and told them what he thought they'd believe. Assistant U.S. Attorney Ali Mahagdas told the jury in closing arguments Monday. What you saw in this case is for years the defendant was running a Ponzi scheme. Throughout the trial, Girardi's federal public defenders blamed Kamen, who is also charged with wire fraud in connection with the theft of client money, along with a separate case in which he is accused of embezzling funds from the firm to finance the purchase of homes and a $20,000 per month payment to his girlfriend. This was Mr. Kamen's scheme, Deputy Public Defender Charles Snyder said in closing arguments. This was absolutely not Girardi's fraud. So he has a public defender and not his own attorneys? That's interesting. Oh, it's because he supposedly doesn't have any more money? Okay. That's y'all money paying for this public defender. Just saying, California. Mr. Girardi got old and he got sick and he lost his mind, Snyder told the jury on Monday. Snyder argued that Girardi was running the firm in name only and called it for a weekends at Bernie's situation where partners at the firm were propping him up to keep the party going. During the trial, Girardi's federal public defenders called more than 10 witnesses, including Dr. Helena Chu, who testified Girardi has dementia, his former housekeeper of about 20 years, and his secretaries at the law firm. Girardi faces another trial in 2025, for those that have been wondering, in Chicago on charges that he and others at the firm stole payouts made by Boeing to families whose loved ones died in an Indonesian plane crash. I don't know if this is true justice, because at the end of the day, will any of these victims of Tom Girardi see their money? Probably not. However, Girardi was not the only person. Girardi was supported and protected by quite a few people, people that he was close friends with, people that were in power, senators, governors, people at the California bar. They allowed this bad behavior to continue to the point where more and more victims of Tom Girardi are here. Guys, as always, this is an update on Tom Girardi being found guilty on all 4 counts of wire fraud. Let's continue this conversation in the comments section. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
You bring the lighter.